Hello darlings, welcome to Tea with Justine. I've just come back from a very busy and awesome trip to Toronto. I do love that city, but I'm always there for work. I never get to actually see it. Since I wasn't able to take you around with me and explore, I came back with a bunch of snacks instead. The Canadians have a lot of snacks that we don't have in the States or anywhere else, like ketchup chips. In the 1970s, Canada decided to do an experiment with fruity flavored chips. And they did things like grape flavored chips and orange flavored chips and a tomato based chip. So the grape and the orange flavored chips did not last, which I'm not surprised by. But the ketchup chip did! And probably to anyone who's not Canadian, it sounds pretty gross because I myself was like, what? Who would eat a ketchup chip? That sounds so disgusting. But after the first time I tried it, I was just in love. So now I always come back with a bag of ketchup chips. They also have an all-dressed chip. I don't actually know what all-dressed is. There's a picture of a red pepper and onion and some salt or vinegar, I'm not really sure. But these are also really good. And then there are these random things, hickory sticks. I'm not really sure what's so special about these, but these are apparently very Canadian. Let's see. They're just like, ooh, they do smell nice. Smoky flavor. I guess that's why they're called hickory sticks. They're just like little chip fries. I guess they're good. Yeah. Found these at the grocery store. I don't think they're particularly anything special, but they're called Bigfoot. And I figured, well, maybe Bigfoot does live up here in Canada, and there's a maple leaf on it. Yes, it is Fabrique au Canada, so it's made in Canada. Says made in Canada, has maple leaf. I'm gonna call it Canadian. Yeah. I guess it's like a Swedish fish, but it's a Bigfoot fish. Bigfoot gummy. We have all these chocolate bars that are purely Canadian. Coffee Crisp, which I hear is like the elevated Kit Kat. Very popular here. Manufactured by Nestle, but it's uniquely Canadian. Mr. Big, manufactured by Cadbury, but again, uniquely Canadian. A Crunchy Sponge Toffee, also manufactured by Cadbury, but uniquely Canadian. Man, these Canadians really love their crunchy chocolate bars. Crispy Crunch, looks like a Butterfinger to me. Also manufactured by Cadbury, but uniquely Canadian. And Eat More, what is this? Toffee Peanut Chew. Guessing also crunchy. So Canadians like their crunchy chocolate bars. I'm not gonna complain. I always pick up extra chocolate in Canada or anywhere that's outside the United States because don't be fooled. You can get Cadbury in the States, but no offense, Hershey messes all that up with high fructose corn syrup, and then it's disgusting. I was unpleasantly surprised one Easter when I picked up a Cadbury egg at Target, only to find that it tasted like vomit. Yep. Yeah, so this Coffee Crisp is basically like a giant Kit Kat with a hint of mocha. Like that the Canadians decided to name a chocolate bar after a Sex and the City character. Mr. Big is really good. It's got like Rice Krispies inside and some caramel, something else chewy. Yeah, I dig that. Now let's see what a sponge toffee tastes like. Sponge toffee sounds like something you get out of the sea. Oh. That is very crunchy. It is rightfully named crunchy. Look at that. Literally a sponge toffee. Make sure you brush your teeth well after you eat that. Okay, Crispy Crunch, what are you? Yeah, It's basically like a flatter Butterfinger. Now, eat more. I wonder where they come up with these names. It's the original dark toffee peanut chew. Whoa, I think this melted a little. Chocolate foul. Quite sticky. I'm gonna say this is the one chocolate bar that might not be, look at that. It's so melted. Might not be crunchy. Not crunchy, but quite nice. And actually made by Hershey, Canada. It's very chewy. So I'm gonna have a major sugar high. Let's see, what else did I bring back from Canada? I've got OMG! I have no idea what these were. I just saw that it said OMG, so I figured that sounds exciting. Milk chocolate clusters. Ooh, chocolatey graham clusters with almonds and toffee bits. Bouchée de biscuits graham au chocolat avec amandes et pépites de caramel. Everything in Canada is in English and French. I'm sorry I butchered that pronunciation. We'll work on my French pronunciation in another episode. Alright, let's see what's so OMG about these OMGs. I guess it's a nice little cluster. I don't know if I'd OMG over this, but I suppose it's a nice little snack to have with your tea. Of course, I picked up some maple leaf cookies. You can get the nice, pretty packaging at the airport, but I just picked up these at the grocery store. Oh, and Smarties. So we have Smarties in the States, but our Smarties are weird little sugary pastel rainbow colored tablets, and my fondest memory of them is that my brother snorted one up his nostril when he was 3, and then my dad had to struggle to get him to blow his nose really hard so that he could blow the Smarties out of his nose. So yeah, I would highly recommend not snorting Smarties. These Smarties are like little chocolate M&Ms made by Nestle. Poured some out here. Jos Louis. This was recommended to me by a friend. I thought it was called Jos Louis until someone corrected me. Jos Louis made me think of like some low-end clothing store where you go to buy your khakis and hunting gear. These look pretty good actually. It's a chocolate red velvet type cake cookie with some cream inside. Oh, look at that. These look like great tea time snacks actually. Ooh, lovely. A light, fluffy cake. You know what this is much like? A ding dong. It's a Canadian ding dong with a more boring name. Jos Louis. And who spells Jos? Joe? It was actually, I did look this up, and it was named after real people. I forget who they were. I'm really sorry. There you go. Canadian ding dong. Jos Louis. And then we have wagon wheels, which are basically moon pies. Those of you who don't know what a moon pie is, it's another fluffy cake-like cookie, but instead of cream in the middle, it's marshmallow. I'm not a big fan of moon pies, but let's give this a shot. All right, Canadian moon pie, see what you got. I don't really know the difference. Tastes like a moon pie, rolls like a moon pie. If you like marshmallow, also a good tea time snack. Rock me mama like a wagon wheel. Whoa! Rock me mama any way you feel. Okay, I need something salty. Does that ever happen to you? Like you go for some sweets and then suddenly you need something salty. That always happens to me when I eat ice cream. You know what these all dressed chips taste like? There's like a hint of vinegar, and it tastes a little bit like ranch. There are a few other things that I had to have while I was in Canada. First of all, we all know we have the Canadians to thank for poutine, a lovely pile of lard. The original poutine is basically fries covered in gravy with some cheese curds. And the cheese curds are very interesting, very rubbery. And when I think of poutine, I actually feel a little bit ill. Not because it's anything really that gross. I mean, it's potatoes, it's gravy, it's cheese. What's there not to love? But like, when you think of that as a meal, like only that, my stomach wants to climb out of my body because I don't think it can handle all of that. Like a bite or two, great. A whole bucket of it, it's pretty intense, man. I went and got me some Canadian poutine, but I have to admit, it was not my first time having poutine. It was the second time. First time I had poutine was in Cleveland, Ohio. So I felt like I had to give the traditional Canadian poutine a chance. I have a very bad memory regarding the first time I had poutine because I was meeting someone who's now become a really good friend, but at the time, it was the first time I had met her and we were having a business meeting. It was freezing winter in Ohio, snowing, and so I thought, oh, why not have some poutine? That sounds like a good cold weather meal. So we both ordered it, and this one had like potatoes and bacon. I don't remember what else. It was all mixed up with the gravy, and so I went for a bite, which I thought was either potato or maybe bacon. Put it in my mouth and quickly realized it was not potato. It was indeed a chunk of fat, like a huge gross chunk of fat. And I was like, I do not know if I can spit this out in front of this woman I just met. So I slowly chewed it and swallowed it. Wanted to stick my hand into my mouth and reach down and grab my stomach and pull it out because that's how disgusting that was. So I've stayed away from poutine since then, but decided since we're doing Canadian snacks here, I gotta do the poutine. So check this out. I'm gonna have a heart attack after this. It is really good though. But this is so much, look at that. How does one person eat this? I don't know. Alright. I got some poutine. I'm gonna, it's like I just donated blood and I just ate poutine. Now, there were two other snacks that I had to try. One was called a Nanaimo bar. Nanaimo? No, that sounds like a Japanese grandmother. Nanaimo. No. Now that sounds like a war mission. What is it? Nanaimo. It is Nanaimo. Nanaimo. But it's spelled like Nana-imo. Which I went around searching for because I was told you can find it at any bakery, even a Starbucks. But I could not find this apparently intense chocolatey goodness. And it has coconuts in it and some kind of like yellow cream. So I tried really hard and I couldn't find it, but here's what it looks like. And then I was advised to also get a Beavertail. I looked up Beavertails and it looked really good. It's basically like a giant flat donut. The traditional one is covered in cinnamon sugar and butter. So what's there not to love? Like a giant flat churro. And they do it in all different kinds of flavors too. You got your Nutella Beavertail, and it literally just looks like a delicious Beavertail. You know, you could put Reese's Pieces on it and bananas or whatever. So I go get my Beavertail and lo and behold, there is a sign for a special Nanaimo Beavertail. So I got to kill two birds with one stone. My first ever Beavertail. The Nanaimo bar Beavertail. Really good. Oh, that's really good. I think I like that. Thanks, Canada. You are always so sweet to me. The traditional one, that I could just probably chow on all freaking day long. That would be great with tea. Like I said, I love Toronto. If you haven't been, you should definitely go and pick yourself up some Canadian snacks. Alright, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Remember to subscribe so you can see more of our adventures and join me for tea. We will see you all next time. Toodles!